We've all been there. Oh, look at his cute sad eyes. Oh yes, cutie, you can have this chocolate from me. But little did you know you'd be rushing off to the vet because you actually poisoned your dog. In this video, I will walk you through the 11 most common foods that we eat that are actually poisonous to your dog. Some of these might actually surprise you, so keep watching all the way through because this is information that every dog owner should know. So be sure to share it with everyone you know who has a dog or wants to get a dog. I will also mention the symptoms that come from each of these foods. Hi, I'm veterinarian Nele and I help cat and dog owners avoid sudden sickness and high medical bills without the long waiting times and stress. And so Dr. Google doesn't give you a heart attack. If you'd like to avoid medical or behavioral problems for your furry friend, be sure to click the subscription button below and hit that bell button so you get notified every time I release a new video. There are so many foods that we can eat that are dangerous for your dog, and some of them are downright poisonous. I will walk you through the most common ones and also the most dangerous ones with the symptoms, and I will be using a chart with traffic lights indicating how dangerous it be, or it's actually kind of safe but still very bad for your dog. Keep in mind, not all of the symptoms always occur, so it's not because one or two symptoms are not correct that this is not a poisoning. If you think your dog has been poisoned by something, always take the packaging or the food itself to your vet so you can show it. Red stands for very dangerous and emergency, so you need to take your dog to the vet right away. Orange stands for foods that are ingested by dogs pretty often, and most of the time they will not die, but it has happened. Be sure to have them checked out by a vet anyways. Green, as you may guess, is pretty safe and it happens a lot. If there are any symptoms, they go away by themselves, but it still means this is poisonous for your dog and really unhealthy for your dog to eat. Food of the allium species you actually know pretty well because you use it in your kitchen all the time. These are leeks, onions, garlic, shallots in every form, so fresh, dried, powdered, and especially the Japanese or Korean form are the most dangerous ones. Symptoms sometimes happen within 24 hours, but usually they come within a few days, so you might not actually know right away what is causing these symptoms. So the symptoms are lack of appetite or not wanting to eat, vomiting, diarrhea, tummy ache, and anemia. Other symptoms are jaundice, so turning yellow in his gums or the places that are less hairy, so like the armpits or the groin area. Nuts. This is something that is in a lot of kind of nuts, peanuts, earth nuts, monkey nuts, you name it. So don't forget about peanut butter. It is toxic for your dog. Oil that is made of nuts, and sweets. What's even worse is if they eat salted peanuts or chocolate coated peanuts. But I will come back to this later in this video, so keep tuned for that. Within a few hours, your dog will vomit, get diarrhea and tummy aches. In worst cases, convulsions, twitches, agitation and hallucinations. Although hallucinations may be more due to the salt than the peanuts itself. Also, a faster heartbeat and breathing may occur along with hyperthermia. Number 3, caffeine. Caffeine is found obviously in coffee, but also in tea and chocolate. The stuff that they can metabolize is called theophylline and theobromine. The signs that your dog has eaten something with caffeine in it occur within 1 to 3 hours and include vomiting and diarrhea. Yes, I know, not very specific as you will notice in this video. You will also get a faster heartbeat, incoordination of the legs, hyperthermia, drinking and peeing more, diuresis is called as well, agitations, dilated pupils, yes, you will look high. What will also occur is excitation, not in a good way, hypersensitivity to pain, restlessness, sensitivity, twitching, aggression may occur, and also convulsions. In worst cases, he will get a high blood pressure, turn blue, as it's called cyanosis, arrhythmias, and coma. The prognosis for this is pretty bad when there are these severe symptoms, but it's pretty good if there are only mild symptoms. Number 4. Cannabis sativa. Yes, you heard me. Marijuana, pot, weed, skunk, all of it. We humans who do not partake in the psychoactive aspect of cannabis use it to produce the seed hemp. And for humans is actually a healthy seed to eat. Signs show within 4 hours or within minutes if it's inhaled, and they include incoordination of the legs, weakness, vomiting, dilated pupils, excitation, hypersensitivity to pain, peeing and pooing where he sits, otherwise called as incontinence, and behavioral changes. In worst cases, faster or lower heartbeat, low blood pressure, hyper or hypothermia, tremors, twitches, and convulsions. The prognosis is favorable when treated in time. Number 5. Chocolate. One of our favorite treats is actually toxic for dogs, and even small amounts are not okay. They're very unhealthy to give your dog. So the theobromine is the substance in the chocolate that they cannot metabolize well. The darker the chocolate, the more dangerous, and the worst are actually the beans itself, or the shell of the beans itself. White chocolate have a very low percentage of cacao in them and are the least dangerous, but still very, very unhealthy to give your dog. The cacao beans, cacao powder, and the shells are very high in concentration of theobromine and are very toxic for your dog. Usually dogs show signs within 4 hours, but it can take up to 24 hours before anything is shown. Signs include vomiting, tummy aches, hypersalivation, incoordination of the legs, high blood pressure, faster though sometimes slower heartbeat, and peeing and drinking more. In worst cases, muscle rigidity, tremors, convulsions, faster breathing, cyanosis or turning blue, hyperthermia, arrhythmias, and renal dysfunction. So please never give your dog chocolate again. Not even a cookie with a little chocolate on it. Just don't do it. Number 6. Fish oil. Fish oils are something that are used in supplements for dogs, but you should really not give over-the-counter fish oils that you can find for yourself to your dog. So these include cod liver oil, halibut oil, salmon oil, and they can be found in a supplement on itself, but other multivitamins as well. So never give this to give your dog a boost. So these pills are toxic for your dog, but not deadly. Within 2 hours, your dog will start to vomit, get diarrhea, and dehydration. 7. Macadamia nuts. They can be eaten raw, but can also be found in cakes and sweets. So I'm mentioning this separately so you will understand not to give cakes and sweets to your dog. Within 12 hours, this causes, say it with me, vomiting and diarrhea, tummy aches, depression, weakness, incoordination of the legs, depression, fever, tummy swelling, and joint pain. The prognosis, however, is very good. Number 8. Nicotine. Although not technically a food, but I have to mention it here because it is so dangerous. So nicotine is found obviously in cigarettes and cigars, tobacco, snuff, and nicotine replacement products. Signs show within 15 to 90 minutes and include vomiting, hypersalivation, pale gums, like right here, incoordination of the limbs, high heartbeat and fast breathing, high blood pressure followed with low blood pressure and a slower heartbeat, convulsions, and eventually coma. Prognosis is favorable, but only when treated in time. Any doubt about your dog eating something with nicotine in it, please go to your vet. Number 9. Potatoes. Most cases of poisoning happen because they eat the green potatoes before they are ripe for us to eat. Nevertheless, you should never feed your dog potatoes, cooked or uncooked, because they are still very bad for him. Nevertheless, an actual fatal poisoning from green potatoes is rare. Right after ingestion, your dog will start to vomit and get diarrhea. Don't forget about our golden duo, incoordination of the legs and hypersalivation. Further signs are dehydration and collapse. There is also a risk of obstruction in the esophagus, stomach, and intestines when larger pieces of potato are swallowed. Number 10. Vitis vinifera fruits. These are grapevine fruits, grapes, sultans, raisins, and sultanas. So you also need to be aware about sweets and cakes that have these in them. And the dried fruit is more toxic than the fresh. After 6 to 24 hours, again vomiting and diarrhea, but also vomiting of blood in the stools, not wanting to eat, incoordination of the limbs, weakness, lethargy, and sudden renal failure, where your dog can't urinate anymore. Other signs are peeing blood, drinking more, and pancreatitis. The prognosis is favorable when treated before there is a renal problem present. Number 11. Xylitol or xylitol. I don't know how you pronounce it. This is an artificial sweetener that you can find in sweets, cakes, chewing gums, and toothpaste. Toothpaste in itself is already very toxic for your dog because of the fluoride in it. We brush our teeth and rinse it out, but dogs swallow it, and that is not good. So you need a special toothpaste for your dog. If you would like to know more about brushing the teeth of your dog, I have this video right here that you can go and watch after this one. I will link in the description below and after this video. Within 2 hours, your dog will get signs of hypoglycemia, which includes vomiting, incoordination of the legs, drowsiness, convulsions, collapse, and coma. A delay of 72 hours may occur for liver failure and a coagulopathy, which causes problems with the clotting of the blood, and so your dog might bleed more easily, might bleed out. The prognosis is favorable where the hypoglycemia is controlled, but bad when there is liver failure present. And I know I said 11, but I wanted to come back to the salt that might be on peanuts, so that is number 12. Salt. Or anything that says sodium chloride. So salt is in a lot of human foods. Feeding your dog the same food as yourself from a dinner table is extremely unhealthy for your dog. It might not only cause intoxications, but if you're only giving him human food, he will get deficits in vitamins and essential amino acids. Sometimes a spoonful of salt is used to make your dog vomit after he's eaten something bad. Now you could weigh the risks, pros and cons about this if the thing that is eaten is even worse than salt, but it's better to just take him to the vet. We have something that we can inject the dog with to make him vomit. After eating salt, vomiting can happen within a few minutes, neurological signs within a few hours, in severe cases, or after several hours. The typical signs besides vomiting are, of course, diarrhea, incoordination of the limbs, lethargy, drinking more, fast heartbeat, and fast breathing. Neurological signs progress to seizures, coma, and death in severe cases. It is safe to say that giving a dog human food doesn't often give them the right nutrients they need, and it's very difficult to make a homemade, well-balanced diet for your dog. So only do it when absolutely necessary and consult your vet, or even better, a veterinarian food specialist before you do this. Don't give your dog any over-the-counter food supplements like iron or joint supplements. Ask your vet, we are here to help. If you want to avoid other problems or unexpected high medical bills, be sure to check out my free Quick start guide to dogs. I've linked this in the description below. It is a gold mine to avoid all kinds of problems. So, are you surprised that any kinds of food did not make it on my list? Please let me know in the comment section below so I can maybe make another video about this or answer all your questions about this. Let's keep your furry friends happy and healthy together, and I will see you in the next video.